I just can't help myself when I see decks like this in the 5-0 commander list. This one is an Atraxa Superfriends deck. And so it's real heavy on the 4-drops. There are a lot of Planeswalkers coming in at 4 mana. There's only one at 3 mana, and then Obnixilis at 5 mana, and then a whole bunch at 4, and some cheap interaction in the lower drop slots. So it's an interesting deck. It's only seen it in the 5-0 list once, so I'm not going to claim that it's a great deck. I've tested it quite a bit, though, more than I normally do with decks that I play for the deck of the week. And one thing I can say is that it's quite good against the aggro tempo decks, and it's not nearly as good against like the slower control decks. So you've got a lot of cheap removal and interaction and stuff like that, and then some medium impact planeswalkers, and that tends to be really good against the tempo aggro decks. But when you get into the slower control decks, you've only got a few hard counters, and then your planeswalkers don't have a huge impact on the game. So when your opponent gets to 7 or 8 mana, you're probably not countering what they're doing. You're probably not countering back when they counter one of your planeswalkers, and if it does resolve, then it's probably only going to have a medium impact on the game. And because you only have one creature in the deck, Atraxa, she pretty much eats all of the removal. So yeah, it's got some problems with control matchups in that route. For example, against Brea, I've played a few times. It feels really good in the early game. You can Wrathway Brea or you can counterspell it, but on the third or fourth time they cast it, there's nothing you can do about it, and then they start playing higher impact spells than what you have in your deck, and the game just slips away from you. So that's one problem I've noticed, but it still seems quite good against Tymna decks and that kind of stuff. It's pretty easy to make Tymna cost 7 mana before she ever has any impact on the game, and then at 7 mana she's pretty much out of the game. So I'm going to keep the deck the way it is, but one thing I noticed is that I'd probably like one less land. It already has 7 mana rocks, so 40 lands seems like at least one too many. Usually I play 39 decks and lands in most of my decks, and since this only has, it only goes up to 5 and then a couple of X spells, 40 seems high, especially with mana rocks. And I'd like to see 6 mana Eleshnorn. I think that's a higher impact planeswalker. I wouldn't mind seeing Tamiyo either. And for fun, I think it'd be fun to play Doubling Season just to make it so that everyone, some of your planeswalkers, you just drop them and it's basically I win the game right away. But that's probably more of a Magic Christmas Land kind of wish. I don't think that really would come up that very often, so it's probably not worth playing Doubling Season. But 6 mana Eleshnorn would be on the top of my list to include. And Tamiyo would be next in line. I don't know what you'd cut for Tamiyo. You definitely cut a land for a Eleshnorn. But I'm going to keep it the way it is. I'm going to try it this way. And hopefully we have some fun in some matches. Alright, we got match 1. We are on the play. Playing against Sram. We have Toxic Deluge and Force Spike, but only one land. I can't keep a 1-land hand on the play. Alright, we got Toxic Deluge and Mana Leak. And Supreme Verdict. Need a land. So there's no red in this deck, so this is can get whatever blue colored land I want. I think Tundra, Hollow Mountain, I'm not going to crack it right away. Because I do need 1 or 2 more lands at some point for the deck to function. Player Husk, okay. You got yourself a 1/1. Alright, so that's a white-black land. Let's go. I'm going to counter Sram even with the Toxic Deluge. Let's get Tundra. Tropical Island here. Some long pauses here. Alright, he's going to let me counter it now. We take a damage. Alright. I don't know what I want to play next turn. Guess it depends on what he plays. Alright, Bone Splitter. Yeah, equip the Bone Splitter. It might be worth playing Jace to bounce the Germ token, since he can't actually get that back. Well, there's that. I could just evasive action, Sram again. Or we could... I mean, he could still have 0-mana artifacts. But we still have the Toxic Deluge. If he draws a card or two, that's not the worst thing in the world. I think I want to do the more mana efficient play and play the Jace, get the Planeswalker on the board. Get rid of his weight of pressure. Our other Planeswalkers. Playing Atraxa doesn't play well into the Toxic Deluge. He might not be able to make it big enough. So maybe we could play Atraxa and then he can't attack. Alright, he's slow playing. I'll be right back. Alright, he F6'd it, looks, and so we got Jason play. Let's return the token. Alright, he's got another land. So he's probably going right for Sram. Alright, he's got a Paradise Mantle. Just the one free card. Let's draw first. Alright, that's pretty good. Put put these back. We're not going to be able to cast them just yet. Let's oust. Let's Inquisition. Armament Master. Banisher Priest. Let's take the armor. Oh, I didn't notice the automaton. Alright. We got a vampiric tutor coming. Yep, he made another living weapon. That makes sense. Do we have to bounce it? Yeah, let's bounce it. I don't like doing it, but we could play Atraxa and get another counter on Jace. I think I like Narsetting. We knew that the Tainted Pact was there. We go straight for Sram. Let's draw. We can set up our next card for Narset. Alright, let's... put these lands back. Let's Vampiric Tutor. For Snuff Out, I think. Can we still... Yeah, we only tap the black land. So we can... Where's Snuff Out? Snuff Out. Let's draw Snuff Out. And let's play us an Atraxa. Green, white, blue, black. And we have a Narset emblem next turn. He does have a Banisher Priest. I actually forgot about that. So he's going to play that, obviously. Oh, no he's not. Alright, we win. Alright, we got match 2. We are on the draw. Playing against Tymna and Kraum. Yeah, this hand looks pretty good. Let's play this untapped and Inquisition him. Vamp Tutor, Mesmeric Fiend, Liliana, Dismember. Let's take the Mesmeric Fiend. We might get Wastelanded. Yep. come into play. Actually, he's got a hallowed fountain there. It actually cuts off my mana quite a bit. I'm trying to decide. This has got to be a green land. Do I want black or do I want blue? I guess black. Let's duress. I think we're taking the Vamp Tutor. He drew a swords. Let's take the tutor. So basically, Atraxa is never doing anything. Alright, not a blue land. Alright. He just drew that. Let's play this tapped. So we know he doesn't have that or that. He still has Liliana. He still has Dismember Swords. Oh. I X'd off too many cards. We still don't have any blue mana. We do have 2 white for this. He doesn't have 2 black to play Liliana. Alright, at least we're not the only ones that are mana screwed. Alright. It's turning into an interesting non-game. Alright, I'm going to let that resolve for now. We definitely want blue here. I guess probably Underground Sea is almost always correct. Let's go for Gideon. He can kill the token if he wants. Oh, if I found a Daze? Puts him back a land, though. It's actually a pretty big deal. So I think that Force of Will is pretty worth it. Let's make a token. He can dismember the Gideon if he has 1 mana open. So let's not play into that. We can just run him over with tokens. Maybe we want to just play our Atraxa into removal. I still can't play Tymna, still can't play Liliana. I'm not gonna worry about that. Alright. Happy to see that removal being used for those purposes. Alright, so he's got black mana now. Oops. Oh, I thought I F2'd. Whew. If we play Liliana, what do we discard? I really like these spells. We could play Liliana and not activate her. That way we don't have to counterspell everything. Feels weird. All right. And we win. Got a little fortunate that he was land stuck, and we were able to get out of ours. But in general, I found these matchups to be fairly good. We have a lot of disruption for what they're doing. Alright, we got match 3. We are on the draw. Playing against Queen Marchesa. 2 lands on the draw. And I don't even. He kept his hand and then conceded. Maybe he meant to click Milligan. Oh well, I mean, I'll take it. It's unfortunate because it doesn't really show the deck very well, but I'll take it. Alright, we got match 4. We are on the draw. Playing against Tymna and Bruse Tarl. We have 1 land. Even on the draw, this is pretty greedy. Let's keep this. Beta push is good. Yeah, I'll take another land. Miscalc is good. Alright. Well, we lose something. Probably the miscalc, although I wouldn't be surprised if we took the fatal push. I don't think he really cares about... Okay, he takes the miscalc. Alright, he knows what's in our hand, so there's no reason not to play this tapped. So, might be able to not let him know that we have a fatal push online for 4 mana. Like right now. Like it looks like he might just play Tymna. And then we can crack Bloodstained Mire and fatal push it. Shame that we don't get the Everflowing Chalice online. Puts away him. Is this Tymna? Alright. Can't really let him. Tymna is the central card of basically every Tymna deck. You can play Bruse Tarl and then run for a little bit of pain in the future. Alright. If he draws another land, he can play Tymna. I don't know if we do anything about that. And there's an Aether Hub. Huh. Do we let him draw a card? Or do we trick bind it? I don't know how much better our trick bind is getting. We've drawn basically nothing. Do we bounce something? Doesn't really do anything, I don't think. I think we need to draw a card. Or counter this. Counter target spell. Tap all creatures he controls. Alright. He's hoping for a Wrath. That's not a Wrath. It blocks one creature and then doesn't quite die. He's got to go after a face if he wants a card. He could just have removal for the vampire. He's drawn a lot of lands for his deck. Doesn't look like there's removal for the vampire. Going at her face. And at Soren. And which one's getting pumped? Alright, he's pumping Tymna. Does he have removal? Ah. By the slow play, bro. He might have just F2'd into the... Alright. colors all wrong. So blue, black, green, white. It probably just dies. Alright. This card is bugged. So, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when I was playing Queen Marchesa, it made me sack a creature when I cast it. It's bugged. It's supposed to be just each opponent. That's so weird. At least we still got him down pretty low on cards, but well, that's not great. We're at 12 life. We're at 10 life. Oh, no, 11 life. Because we don't need to... He probably has an answer to this. Not much we can do about it. We just didn't have enough interaction early on. Him taking the miscalc was pretty good. What is this? Dark Dwellers? Anguish Unmaking. Are we dead? That time it didn't do it. That's strange. 6. Alright, good game. Normally it's a pretty good matchup, but that's not, you know, 100% guarantee. Alright, we got match 5. We are on the draw. Playing against Thraximundar. We have no lands. So you don't keep a no land hand even on the draw. This looks fine. Yeah, I probably want that. Not a lot of blue in this hand. Or blue mana, I just noticed. There's this talisman. Alright, so we got Yagmoth's Will, Skeletal Scrying, Dismember, Demonic Tutor. I think we take the Tutor. He's got a Cavern of Souls. Alright, blue land is pretty good. If he wants the Skeletal Scrying for 1, that's fine. So let's just go ahead and play this Mana Rock. Alright, I guess he could crack this and Skeletal Scrying on his turn for 2. He's got a Dismember to kill our Atraxa. Let's not worry about it. I'd like to draw another non-land card. That would be great. All right. It slows him way down, doesn't it? Is he going to Skeletal Scrying for 2, or does he have a counter spell? Looks like it might be a Skeletal Scrying for 2. Alright. I don't know if that was too aggressive. I'm not a very nice person. Alright, he's got an Ancient Tomb. I don't think we do that. He still has his Dismember. I don't really want Atraxa to cost 6. We'll still name Angel here, because it's either that or Snapcaster Mage. And we'll just say go. Alright, another Signet is pretty darn good. If we draw another land, we might play Armageddon again. Alright, Bring Delight. What does that do? It's only for 3. Oh, that's the wrong deck. Atraxa. Vindicate we already played. Council Judgment doesn't do it. Painless Truce is bad. Abrupt Decay, Sylvan Libraries, and enchantment. Signets or artifacts. Not a lot. Not a lot. Because it's got to be 3, right? We can only make black, blue, and white. We can't make green. Alright, let's say go. I don't want to face that down. At this point, I kind of want Armageddon. Is it 5 mana? I don't know. I haven't drawn any lands. Kind of rather play a land after Armageddoning. He probably has a counterspell. I'm not a good person. He's got another land. Alright. Maybe we can get some land flood now. Guess not. Serves us right. Alright. Well, we'll play it. Still has a dismember. Oh, we can't even play Atraxa. Let's get a tropical island. I think. Keeps us off of black. Do we just get Bayou? I guess Bayou's gone. Underground Tomb? Yeah, we get so much black in our hand. If he counters this, that's fine. I'm a little amazed because he didn't counter Armageddon, but... negate. Okay. No playing around that. Forced him to get a basic land. Alright, evasive action is a spell that we can cast. This is not the most entertaining magic in the world. We can now bring to light for 4. What does that do for us? Armageddon, Ravages of War, gone. Wrath, Factor Fiction, Snuff Out. Alright, well we can Factor Fiction. Let's play Narset. Not super worried about counter spells and whatnot. I am going to kill this. Move to the second main phase. All right. Alright, it's a land. It's actually not the worst thing in the world. Alright, he's got his own wasteland. Does he want to... Doesn't look like he does. Let's look. Let's take that. And let's play Temple Garden tapped. can't wasteland this anymore. Although right now we can't play both spells. Okay. We won the match by playing Armageddon twice and wastelanding him and vindicating a land. Not very nice magic, but we'll see what we would have drawn. But we won. So that one's probably one of the harder, like it's a slower deck, but we managed to get Armageddons off. Like if we hadn't done that, he probably would have run away with the game pretty quickly. So that was pretty good. And yeah, we could protect our Narset, and then we can get he can't cast non-creature spells, and then his Dismember can't kill Atraxa. He doesn't have much that can kill Atraxa. So yeah. So I managed to get a 4-1, which is pretty decent. We did play mostly against the matches that we want to play against with this deck, so we got a little lucky there. The Thraximundar, I think, was probably a fairly bad matchup, but we got a little lucky. He didn't have many counterspells. I don't know how many counterspells Thraximundar plays. I might have to try that deck at some point in the future. Yeah. One thing I did notice also is that this deck has, in some different games, I noticed that this deck has trouble dealing with opposing planeswalkers. If they drop a planeswalker and then they get removal to get rid of your Atraxa, that's your only creature. That's your only real way to pressure planeswalkers. So, that's another one of the problems with Brea, is that Dak Faden is basically the best card in your deck against you. It can steal your artifacts, it can draw them into removal, and you basically, the deck can control Atraxa so well that it's pretty hard to ever do anything to Dak Faden, and he just continues to filter draws turn after turn after turn. And so that's one of the problems with the deck, and there's only Vindicate and Council's Judgment, and then the proactive counter spells that can really deal with it. Maybe Abrupt Decay against a Liliana, but most planeswalkers are 4 or more, so it can be really hard to deal with the planeswalkers in this deck. So I don't know. I might like a couple more cards that deal with that, and yeah. But other than that, an interesting deck. Not the greatest in the world. Somewhere between a rogue strategy and a viable strategy. It's good against some decks, not against others. Right now, Tymna is actually dominating the 5-0 list more than Brea is. So it might be a good metagame call to play this right now. But it's a lot of fun. I love playing Super Friends. So thank you guys for... Oh, I'm sorry. No. We got to open these treasure chests. 10 play points. Some commons. Oh, an Ugin. I think I got one of those the other day. And an Ancient Tomb. Oh, this is three rares. Well, 1 mythic and 2 rares. No, but really open it. Yes. Did I hit cancel? Is it bugging? Alright, I'm going to reset my client. Alright, client's back. Let's open these last 2 treasure chests. We got Elder Deep Fiend. That's a cool card. I don't know if it's worth anything or not. Probably not a lot. Not that many decks are playing it. And 10 more play points, which is decent. But Ugin's good. Alright, so now really, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good night.